At the edge of a quiet West African town stood a house that looked like a dream. Warm orange walls, wide windows, peace in the daytime. But at night, the forest behind it seemed to breathe. Inside that house lived Nneka and her husband, Chidi. To everyone else, they were perfect. Happy, successful, blessed. But every blessing has a shadow. When they first moved in, Chidi gave only one rule. There is a room at the end of the hallway, my prayer room. Please, Nneka, never go in, especially not at night. And for 6 months, she didn't. Because love sometimes means respecting silence. But curiosity grows in the dark. Every night, at exactly midnight, Chidi would wake up. No words, no emotion, just rise and walk to the third room. He would lock the door behind him, and then it would begin. A drum. Not ordinary drumming, but something deeper. It wasn't music. It sounded like a conversation, a language Nneka couldn't understand, but somehow could feel. Night after night, the same ritual. And slowly, Chidi began to change. His skin grew pale, his eyes distant, and his hands always stained with a strange red dust, like soil from somewhere ancient. Then, one evening, Nneka found something. A small beaded anklet. Old, cold, alive. When she asked him about it, Chidi froze. His hand trembled, and his spoon fell into his soup. Then he said something she would never forget. Some things are locked to keep us safe. Don't go looking for trouble, or you might find it. That night, the drum was louder, angrier. It sounded like two voices, arguing. Nneka stood outside the door, her ear pressed against it. And then she smelled it. Rain. In the middle of the dry season, days later, Chidi left for a trip. But this time, he forgot his keys. And, for the first time, the door was no longer locked. At midnight, with shaking hands, Nneka opened it. The room was not a prayer room. It was covered in red sand. And in the center, a drum, breathing, alive. And beside it, a woman, beautiful, but not human. The spirit turned slowly and looked at her. He is late, it said. The debt must be paid. In music or in blood. And in that moment, Nneka understood everything. This was never betrayal. This was sacrifice. Chidi wasn't hiding a secret life. He was carrying a burden. Suddenly, the door burst open. Chidi rushed in, grabbed the drum, and played. Faster, harder, until his fingers began to bleed. The spirit faded, satisfied. For now, Chidi collapsed, and finally told the truth. The wealth, the life they lived, it came with a cost. Silence filled the room. Then, Nneka picked up a small instrument and sat beside him. If this is the price, she said softly, then you won't pay it alone. And that night, the music didn't stop, because every soft life has a hidden cost. The end.